Good morning, good morning, good morning, beautiful people. Happy start of the week. For you, it is a beautiful Monday morning. It is Monday. I have it right today. So, welcome to another episode of Daily Motivations for African American Success. I'm coming to you today with day 124. I did kind of get that wrong last night. I messed up the numbers. I think we did 123 yesterday. So I had everything kind of set. And so I hope it's right for you out there. But welcome again to Daily Motivations for African American Success. Brandon, how are you doing today?
Doing good, doing good. How are you? You got your coffee?
Got my coffee. Got my coffee.
Good. You look beautiful, Mama.
Yes.
Good morning to you and good morning to everybody.
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I feel rested. I did some cleaning is therapeutic for me. So like I did dusting, wiped down baseboards and
Oh man, you got
did some
fancy.
errands. So it's cleaning is therapeutic. Hmm.
I said
What'd
you
you say,
got
Brandon?
fancy. I said you got fancy, did all the cleaning, huh?
Yeah. So
You-
yeah, it's therapeutic for me. So I enjoy that. So it does something. And I had my music on, Brandon. I had the some other things I like too, but like I did it for quite a while. So I had what is it that you sent me to
Oh,
listen
the
to?
the surahs, Al Rahma, the mercy.
Yeah. So as I cleaned, I had my ear things on and just I had a good time. So I
Yeah.
feel very good this morning. I'm ready for this week. Spiritually,
Good.
internally, I'm ready. I'm just ready. So
Good.
for
I'm
this
glad you
week.
like
So
that too. The recitations of
yeah,
the Quranic chapters. They're so beautiful. They really are. Really.
yeah.
But I'm glad you're doing good. And to the end of the season podcast. What's today? 1/4/115. What day is this? I forget. No, we gotta be like 120 something, 130 something. Where are we at now?
Did you say 115?
I
About to
I
mess
thought
up.
where are we
About
at?
to mess up my vibe
Where are we at though?
because I was just saying that thought I had got a day off.
124. That's
This
it.
was at 115. You too young for
But
this.
then you know what I said? I said 125. I went straight back to it.
From 115 to 125. Okay.
Just
Whatever you
right.
say.
Let me get my sip of coffee and then we'll ask me again.
Yeah. These people are
But
like tech clockwork.
welcome, everybody. And if you haven't gotten the book, please go out there and get the book. If you don't know what we're doing, we're reading a passage every day from Dennis Kimbro's Daily for African American Success. Here's a look at the book on Amazon. It's not expensive, a very discounted price for the value that you get from this book. So a little bit more about it. Daily Motivations for African American Success will help you focus on the thoughts, attitudes, and deeds that will lead to the achievement of your true goals. And 305 short, powerful motivation each day of the year. Dennis, the author of the popular Think Rich, A Black Choice, just to discover how to use the present and our own gifts to transform, cultivate a positive attitude, become wise enough to know when to yes and when to say no, and to look inward for answers to life's challenges. Each motivation from such distinguished and celebrated African American X, Marion Wright, Whoopi Goldberg, Charlotte Galt, Bill Cosby, Rowan, Mother Hale, Deion Sullivan, and hundreds of others. This treasure practical inspiration will give you fresh every day of the year. Teaches will last you a lifetime. So make sure you get that book, guys. That's kind of a detail of what the book is, what it stands for, but to find out what it actually means to you and what it means to us, you either have to be on this show and to get the deepest value of it, you buy the book and not only that, read it and share it with someone else. It ain't yours until you share it. So that's my little spiel about that. You don't know anything until you're able to teach it. So go out there and teach someone else. Mom, did you get the pictures of the bird and the videos of the bird?
I did. I did.
You did.
Beautiful. Beautiful bird. Yeah.
And the cute bird. Yeah, something else. Something else. So I got him out now. He's just excuse me, just bouncing around. She loves to hear me talk. So When I start talking and other people start talking, she starts getting a little closer and closer. But
How
she
fitting
gets
of
our
you.
words.
Remember the day. Remember
Hmm?
the day when it was, well, remember after the days that it had been really cold and really bad weather, and you were feeding, making sure the birds were fed outside because
Mm-hmm.
it was so snowed up. And now you have a bird.
Now I have a bird
Yeah.
biting on my
So,
cord.
yeah. It's all right. Let's jump into it. Let's jump
Sounds
into it.
good. Sounds good. Let's see here. Let me do something for this bird. That's right. There you go. Eat that. Eat that. There it is. Okay. So today's want to go right into
Yep.
to
Let's do it.
the passage. All right, let's
Mhm.
do it. Let's do it. We jumping in quick today. Everybody's good in the chat. Anybody need anything?
Yes.
Miss
Good
Brenda, how
morning,
you
Miss
doing? Uncle
Brenda.
Mike,
You know who it is, Miss Brenda and Mr. Mike.
Big
They
Mike,
coming to
Big
the
Mike.
barbecue.
And let me see here.
We're on,
Three,
so today is June 3rd.
the third. So the title for today is "You Can't Be Serious." You can't be serious. And Dennis Green, NFL head coach, said that the secret of success is to start from scratch and keep on scratch. The secret of success is start from scratch and keep on scratching. And that's from Dennis Green, NFL head coach. Are you willing to work hard in order to succeed, to go all out? Are you willing to sacrifice certain pleasures because your time and energy must be devoted to your goal? If so, then you possess the key to success. Few extraordinary things ever get accomplished without commitment. Total commitment is not just hard work, it is total involvement. For example, building a brick wall is backbreaking work. There are some people who build brick walls all their lives. And when they die, they leave behind miles of walls, mute testimonials to how hard they labored. But there are others who build walls, who place one brick on top of another, but they do so with a vision, with a goal in mind. They visualize the end result, success. Yet many people fear all out commitment. To a person, a job, or a goal, the mental consciousness of the grass is greener is a major roadblock to commitment. It implies that you have the option of quitting when things get. Commitment is based on the belief that this is it. People are always looking over there for something better will never make it over here. People are always looking over there for something better will never make it over here. You will
Hmm.
never move beyond the surface of a task into the heart of an opportunity if you run from one goal to another. Digging deep or becoming serious about that which you desire is the process that reveals the gems. It is often the last key on the ring that opens the door. And the affirmation that we read 3 times, one for me, one for you, and one for the person that you're going to invite to the barbecue, is today I will step back and take a hard look at the things I am committed to. Today, I will take a step back and take a hard look. Well, I think you put a good look up there. A hard look at the things I am committed to. And last
Hmm.
time, today, I will take a step back and take a hard look at the things I am committed to.
Y'all know
What you
I
got
will
for
change up some words.
me? Yeah, you will. What you
That's what
got?
you
What you
call
got for me? What do you think about that?
turning the midnight hour. Um, so a couple of things I love about the commitment. We talked about Miss Brenda's commitment as we encouraged her to be that she was to remember she was committed for 40 years. I keep playing that in my head throughout the day, Miss Brenda. 40 years. Imagine how often you thought about is the grass greener on the other side, or am I going to stick here? And then now you have a whole life ahead of you, right? You didn't worry about going. And maybe you did, we don't know, but you stayed committed. you stayed committed because you stayed there. So it made, when you're reading, I heard the word commitment. It took me back to yesterday as we just pushed, helped push Miss Brenda forward. But also, oh boy, the secret of success is to start from scratch and keep on scratching.
Mm.
Scratch to me means that you are creating, you are bringing forth your own ingredients, right? It doesn't mean that you have a you have the ingredients, or should not, okay, from someone else. Maybe a few things here and there, but something in your scratching should be from your own hands. Like, remember,
Right.
there's something at the end of your sleeves. What was that? Which one was
It
that one,
was
Brandon? I've got to
like the
hand it to
helping
you.
hand at the end of the
I've got to hand it to
street.
you, right? Um,
Mm.
so your, what do you have your ingredients? Are you starting from scratch? Did you? And perhaps you're doing it now. Age is only a number. Perhaps you're doing it now. But I'm going to skip here to the end. It is often the last key on the ring that opens the door. The last key.
Interesting.
And sometimes, Brandon, you've talked about how we get to the door, the breakthrough door, and we turn around. And we did
Yeah, we
all
get
that
so
work.
close.
We stop. We get so close and we stop because we figure it ain't for me. It ain't for me. It's like, cooking that cake with your own special ingredients, right? You've added your own. Because y'all, let me tell you something. You give me your ingredients, it's something different going in there. I don't care. Brandon is right. I'm gonna add. You
Def
ask me what you put in. I don't know.
tough foot.
And then so I'm always adding, right? And so to me, this is always learning as it making it applicable to life. Be a student of life, but remember what we said, not just of life, your life. Be a student to your life.
Mhm.
What are you cooking? Because we have chocolate cake, pound cake. If you want a chocolate cake, don't go to the store and buy, if you make it from scratch, right? I'll say a red velvet. If I want a red velvet cake, I'm not gonna buy blue um, flavoring, right? I'm gonna buy the red flavor because I want it red,
Oh yeah, that's the guy.
right?
Mhm.
Right. They call it like vanilla flavor. You have the red, the orange, and all of that. So when I'm cooking my red velvet cake, one of Brandon's favorite cakes, I get the red flavoring, right? So think about that. Um, and as you do, again, you guys, what are you scratching and what are you scratching? It's
That's
like if
great.
you made that cake and you put it in the oven and you kept going back and you say, it's not cooking. It's not happening. Maybe you didn't turn the stove on. Maybe the oven's not on. Maybe the oven's broken. Doesn't mean it won't work. And if you really want that cake, you're going to find out why. Why is it not cooking thoroughly? Why is it not getting done? If
Right.
you're committed to that cake and to you eating it or getting it where it's supposed to go, then you're going to keep on scratching to the end. So you have to be committed to this thing because it's hard and it gets deep. It's not as simple as putting the cake together, the ingredients, and putting it in the oven. But you got to do it. So, like I said, if you want the light on in the room, you got to get up and turn it on, or have some form of that you've concocted to where you can say, "Hey, Siri, turn the lights on." But something goes behind that or before that action, right? Something has to happen. But that's my favorite part. It is often the last key on the ring that opens the
Mm.
door. Maybe you're down to your last bit of strength, right? But hey, if there are no more keys, this one has to work. It's just the time, the waiting. Are you willing to stand at that door or at that oven, or as I did the other day for that parking space? Because I was going, we were going, man, we were going to be there. Because why? I had asked God for that parking space. I'd asked. Maybe I should have said I want it as soon as I pull in the lane, but I didn't,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
And so I'm saying that to say sometimes, they say be specific. Okay, God, I want the first parking space as soon as I turn down the lane, right? I just asked for the first parking space. Saw somebody
And
pulling
that's
out
when,
or getting ready to, you know, and then they just hung around. They just hung around. But they didn't know that the girl that they was playing with had asked for something from the Almighty
mm,
God, and that He was giving it. And I saw it coming. So I waited. So do you see it coming? Do you see yourself scratching from scratch?
mm.
And that even if you have 2, 3 keys left, one of them works. One of them works. So over to you, Brandon.
Well, yeah, thank you, Mom. When you started talking about the cakes, I haven't had my breakfast yet. So you made me a little hungry. Um, you can't be serious. The secret of success is to start from scratch and to keep on scratching. When you're thinking about the cake and all the ingredients that go to it, I think about what really makes the cake taste good. It's the fact that if you added up all the ingredients, the cake is still better than the sum of all of the parts. And there's something extra that goes behind it. Because, so you see what I'm saying about it? You can add all the ingredients together, but for some reason, whatever the cake is, especially if somebody that loves you cooks it, the cake itself is greater than the sum of all its parts. I hope that makes sense.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
There's something about it intrinsically that makes it more valuable than all those ingredients put together. So, for example, if you're at a restaurant and you're getting that cake, what that cake is going to cost you to buy it is, of course, more than it costs to get all those ingredients, put them together, because there's some added value with someone getting all that, putting it together, cooking it, or baking it, serving it, pulling it out to you, making it convenient for you. But even if they didn't, it would still be worth more, because now it's a cake. It's not just butter and egg and icing. It's a cake, right? So I look at life the same way, that we have to
Mm.
be that extra part. We have all the same ingredients as everybody else. But what are we going to do that's different, that's going to make the difference between us being successful or not? And I think it's that commitment. The cake is commitment to me. How committed are you to your goal? And if you're baking a cake, everybody ain't like you, Mom. We can't bake a cake and cook the greens and cook the chicken and the mac and cheese all at the same time with one oven. I don't know how you do it. You made Thanksgiving where I felt like you had 3 stoves. I don't know how everything stayed hot. And you at the same time, everything has different cooking times, but somehow everything gets cooked on time, right? So I think it's that commitment, it's the intention of of what you want to see happen. You already have it in your head, and they better eat it while it's hot. Knowing you, if they're at your house, they better eat it while it's hot. Um,
Yes.
and I think it's because, and everyone does. Like, I would wake up out of the bed or whatever. Oh, I could be in the deepest sleep, but if you say food's ready, I got to get up. I don't care how sleepy I am. And it's not just because I'm hungry. It's because I know the commitment, the hard work that you put into it, and I know how good it's going to taste. And I know that it tastes better when it's hot, when it's just the way that you intended me to have it. And so it's that intention. You intended me to have it. The intention that you put inside of it, the love that you put inside of it. All of those things, I think, play into it. Um, and it says, many people fear all out commitment to a person, a job, or a goal. What
Mhm.
is it about the commitment that we fear? Is it the fear of failure? Is it the fear that we put so much hard work into it that, and it doesn't work, that there will be egg on our face, that we'll feel like we are at some huge loss? Or, and maybe it's that we don't see the intrinsic value. Again, there's that word, that intrinsic value of the dedication, the hard work, the commitment, the perseverance, and the things that we've gained just by a product of staying committed to something. The character development that is, and the personal development that has taken place that allowed us to get close to the finish line. I think it's a disservice to ourselves to not go ahead and push through the finish line after so much commitment, right? After so much has been done. So I was telling my mom the darkest hours right before dawn, right before the sun comes up, right? And oftentimes people turn around right before their success, right before they've already done all the work that needed to be done. They've already disproved all the naysayers along the way that said that they quit before this, or they wouldn't make it, or they wouldn't do this. And then before they get to the pinnacle of success, the bar that they set for themselves, there's something that takes over, some insecurity, some fear, um, and they turn around. And you know the famous quote that it is not we do not fear that we are inadequate, but our greatest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. And I think times we get, you can be so committed to the process to where when the opportunity is there, you might not see it. I believe in staying committed to the process, but don't lose sight of the goal, right? To where you can't seize the opportunity. Like in in um, in MMA and fighting, we have this thing, to bring it back to cooking, where coach will say, "Cook them, cook them." Like if we're on the ground, and let's say I have them in a dominant position and they can't really get up and they're trying to get up, sometimes I'll just keep them there. I'll put my hand over their mouth while I hit them, to cook them, make them not be able to breathe, right? But I've seen people where the opening is right there. You can grab his neck and do a rear naked choke, or you can put him in a darts choke. The opportunity's right there. They just keep on cooking. you know, Want to get so involved in cooking the person, basically, or pressuring your opponent to where you miss the opportunity to get on out of there. We ain't there for a long time. We're there for a good time. Same thing with life. We're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time, right? So what good are you doing in the world? And are you serious about it, right? So I think in the titling, when it says you can't be serious, I'm curious on exactly how you guys see that. Do you see it as um, you can't be serious if you're looking at 10 different goal or 10 different uh, um, if your definition of success has 10 answers, or a goal doesn't have vision, or you keep flip-flopping from one to another and never really dedicating and committing yourself to one for the season that it's necessary. So is it that you can't be serious and that's why you're not successful, because you haven't honed in and become serious and committed to one? Are you like me, where you can cook a lot of things at the same, but you could probably just cook one thing really well and be good? You know what I mean? Like, do you have too many, too many what do you call it? Pots on the stove? Is that it, Mom? Is that what people used to
I
say? You
ha-
got too many pots on the stove,
yeah,
or something like that.
I
Some of us are
have
doing that.
an idea. I have an idea about the you can't be serious. I think it goes
Yeah.
back to, if you're not committed, you can't be serious. And you remember people talking about plan A, B, and C, like, and we've talked about that here, where a lot of people, they were plan A only. Plan A. They didn't have a plan B, plan C, because you hear some of the celebs, few I've heard a few of them say, I didn't have plan B and C. That's why they were okay. We're not okay, but they endured homelessness, sleeping on somebody's
Mm.
couch. You know, what are you willing to do? And Brandon, you brought up a point about the cake. Going back to the cake, you think about this, you guys. People will pay 35, $40 for a cake. Why? Because Brandon says now it's a cake. When you could Google, or you could ask for the recipe, somebody knows how to cook that cake. Google knows.
You see
And
bird.
yeah, I do. I see the bird. But you pay more because you now have the cake. But you, when you buy the cake, somebody has did the work. It's like nothing is free. Somebody has paid for something that was free to you, right? Also, I thought about
Right.
KFC, and I don't know if KFC is. I looked it up, and I still didn't get the answer. But think about it. I remember hearing the story of the Colonel story about how foolish people thought he was to just want to open up a restaurant that only sold chicken, right? But he had that thought was planted in him, and he had to be committed to it because look now, right? But also check this out. You now have you have KFC, you have churches,
Mm-hmm.
you have Popeyes, you have the crispy crunchy now at the gas station. It's chicken, but somebody added
Tastes
some
good too.
different ingredients to it. Somebody, you got Gus's. Somebody took, they got chicken. It's all chicken, right? And there's probably many of the same ingredients. But there's somebody kept scratching until they said, "Hey, you know what? I think this will taste good in this," right? And because they
Mm.
tried it and it did, they created a whole business from it, right? So just think about
Right.
your scratching. What are you scratching? How serious you are? Basically, to me, is are you committed to it? Do you have a goal? Do you have a plan? Do you have the aim set up so that when you aim and fire, you hit your target, you hit your goal? Miss Brenda
Right.
says, in the 40 years I was at FedEx, there were many times I wanted to leave because I felt unappreciated. There were jobs that I applied
Mm.
for within the company, but didn't get for whatever reason. But when I asked for the feedback on my interview, sometimes I got feedback, and sometimes and some of it made sense and some didn't. The majority of the time when they posted a position, yep, they already had someone in mind. After the last job that I applied for and didn't even get an interview, I just stopped applying. That's the way of the workforce today. Y'all, I had a conversation. She says one of those jobs that I applied for and didn't get, the people got laid off last year. Whoa. Hmm. There you go. Miss Brenda, that reminds me when I was looking for my house, looking for my first house. I wanted this house so bad that I saw on the street that I ended up moving on. But something about that house, I just wanted, I wanted. Didn't go through for me. I remember leaving my house, going to the store and passing that house, and they were digging up the ground. Like there were people up everywhere because something had happened underground that they had to fix. And all I could do was think about
Mm.
God. You saw what I didn't see. See, I saw the pretty house. I saw the way it was sitting back in the little hut, in the little cut. And I wanted that
Yeah.
house. I
Yeah.
wanted it. But when I passed by, I knew that God, you knew I wanted it, but you also knew that I didn't need it because of what was going to happen. I didn't see it, right? But I didn't stop scratching. I got another house that I love, but that,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes what we want is not what we need. And we may never really understand why we didn't need it or get it until the end. Miss Brenda, there's some people that wish they were in your position. You are retiring from 40 years and still young,
Yes.
sound mind,
Yes.
right? So
What
beautiful, beautiful. We have, let's see, I got a comment. Let's see. What about commitment to relationships? Because it does say in here, and that comes from our
yeah.
beautiful daughter in love. Commitment to relationships. It says here, you may no, let's see, yet many people fear all out commitment to a person, to a job, or a goal. And I think what we talked about yesterday would kind of go back to relationships, the traumatic experiences, and the most loneliest place is the heart that feels unloved. People deal with a lot of fears. There are people who are fearful of success. I remember doing a
Yeah.
story on fear, and people are fearful of success, right? Fearful of failing, of commitment because they feel that they've committed to some things and they continuously did not work out. But you still have the keys. You are the key. And as it become to me, when we talk about relationships, you have to have the relationship with yourself, even to have a relationship with God. And it's not that God's
Mm-hmm.
not there, you're not there. If you don't love the you that God created, how can you love the creator that created you? And there are a lot of people walking around lonely because they feel unloved. Feel. And I don't believe there's one person on this earth that does not have someone who loves them. And that someone has been center, front and center. But because you don't love yourself, you cannot receive that love. And when you cannot receive love, when you don't love yourself and you cannot receive love, you cannot be in a relationship. You can be in something, but the definition of relationship, no, you can't be committed to that relationship, because being committed, sometimes you have to add another ingredient that you got to go deep down and pull out. You got to love that person to allow enough, love yourself enough first to be the best version of yourself, and understand that that gives the other person the space to do the same without you being offended or feeling like, oh, he or she doesn't love me.
Mm-hmm.
No, they can't love you because you don't love yourself. And so when you have a fear of being committed to a relationship, you are fearful of being committed to yourself. You're not scratching. You didn't start from scratch. You're comparing yourself to someone else. You don't know that you can take the people ingredients. You can take the people ingredients and add your own. Add your spice of this or that. Because Brandon, as you were talking, some people like Miss Brenda, um, who knows? Who knows what might have happened if she ventured out? But at this point, that's neither here nor there, because she's going forward. She's committed to going forward. We cannot go back. She learned lessons from here. So changed behavior equals better relationships, a better cake, a better life, a good grade on the pop quizzes. I talked about that, of life, because life's going to pop on you. I don't care if you're at FedEx, Kinko's, wherever life is going home. In your relationship, life is going to pop on you, but you don't have to pop. You don't have to pop. When you put your cake in the oven, you should know exactly what you're going to get. When you plant your seed, you should know exactly what's going to grow. When I asked for that parking space, I should have known I was going to get it. Didn't think I'd have to wait that long for it, but I waited. So are you scratching and waiting? Or are you just standing there itching? Well, God, open the door, make them move. Do this, do this. Scratch. While you wait, scratch. Mix the ingredients. Put it in the oven. Don't go buy a $40 cake when you got all the ingredients at home. And while you sitting on the couch looking at something that's not giving you anything, you could be mixing together. Are you committed? That's what it boils down to. Are you committed? And that's a you thing. And it doesn't even matter if,
Mm-hmm.
as it relates to relationships, is the other person committed? That's not your issue. It's the issue is if they're not, and you know they're not, and they're not going to be, what do you do? Do you stick around, or do you scratch and go? It all comes back to you. You can't be serious if you ain't scratching. You can't be serious if you're not adding your ingredients.
That
You can't be
that made me
serious.
itch, mom.
Scratch and keep on scratching.
That made me itch. You said you ain't serious, you ain't scratching. I started. I was like, man,
And
what's
keep on
going on? Must
scratching.
be serious.
Yeah, and keep on scratching. Brandon, this part, and we'll get off of here. This part about okay, it's not just hard work. Let's see. I actually thought about, okay, for example, building a brick wall is back-breaking work. There are some people who build brick walls all their lives. And when they die, they leave behind miles of walls, right? Mute testimonials to how hard they labored. But there are others who build walls who place one brick on top of another, but they do so with a vision, a goal in mind. They visualize the end result, success. Maybe you are, because even with the cake, you guys, let me go back to the cake. For me, you have to be specific. Like, I'll do my eggs, get them together, whip them up for a very long time separately, right? I'll get all my things lined up. And I have an order that I put them in my cake. I don't just dump everything in there. I just don't. So maybe you're building the wall without laying the bricks
Mm, mm-hmm,
first.
mm-hmm.
Because to lay the brick takes patience, much patience. So maybe you are trying to scratch your whole body when it's just your leg itching. Because you can't scratch your whole body at one time. And if you would like to do that, but then create a scratch machine where you put your whole body in and you're scratched. You know? Are you laughing at me? Oh, the bird.
I was over here scratching my leg, and you said scratch leg, and then you said scratch machine. You're just silly. I think you're funny. I think you're funny.
Cause y'all, you have
Somebody
to
gonna come up
be.
with a scratch.
Yeah, come up with a scratch machine. Imagine that you go in there and all parts of you are being scratched. Come on. Cause think about it.
Yep.
People have
Because
invented things that,
they got massagers,
right. So why not scratchers?
right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So you have the ingredients. You're itching. Scratch.
You're gonna have to stop
You're
saying that, Mom.
itching.
You're making me
Scratch.
itchy.
Well, scratch.
I'm
And when
scratching.
something comes up to in your life, you're gonna think about that. You're gonna think about, you know what? If I'm serious, I'm gonna scratch. And it doesn't mean you're gonna scratch. You're gonna
Mm,
put in some work and you're gonna stay committed to
right.
that work. And this is what this book is about when it says it allows you, or you should have more time. You should contemplate on what you hear every day and apply it. And it should bring about some changed behavior in your relationship with yourself, your relationship with others, and the way that you see and do this life. It should. You should not always be going to buy the cake that you like. Learn how to cook it. Learn how
Mm.
to put those ingredients in there together, because now that's something I'm not going to do. That's like that juice I told you about. I like the juice, but I'm not going to get addicted to a $10 16-ounce thing of juice. I'm not. Will I learn how to get it close enough to where it satisfies me, the cheapest version I can? I'm not going to pay. I'm not getting caught up in no $10 juice. I don't care how good it's for you. Because if you could make it, I can make it. Period.
Mm.
And I still support every now and then. Yeah, I support. But I know for me, no, because that $10 may be taken away from the day that I want to just be sitting on the porch watching my great grands. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
where my granddaughter or my grandson called, Grandma, can you keep the kids? Yes, baby, bring them on. Grandma sit right on here in this porch and watch.
I like how
So
you
I,
start sounding like your grandma when you start saying that. Come on, baby.
yeah,
Come
bring
on.
them
Sit on
on.
right
Bring
here
the
on the
babies on. Yeah.
porch.
And I longed to have the ones to be able to sit and watch them. I used to visualize just, oh, the day that I get a call, Mama, can you watch the kids? Oh, baby, yes. you know? So I have
Yeah.
to be strategic in how and what I spend, because I don't want to have bills when the great grands come. So see, I'm thinking way out. If that's what they want to
Great
do,
grands.
they want
Yeah.
to get married and have kids, then I want them to be able to call me. Mama and Dad out of town. They can't keep the kids. Grandma, can you keep? Yes. I'm over here. I don't scratch, baby. I don't put the scratching in. Grandma can keep them. Bring them on. So, what are your goals and why? Why you do what you do? Look around you and it'll tell you. You'll get the answers. So,
Mm.
all right, Brandon, over to you. I know we both got some things to do this morning, so let's rock it.
Let's wrap it up. All right, y'all. Well, thank y'all so much for being here on
Oh,
the
oh, sorry, Miss Brenda.
124th day.
Sorry,
Miss
Miss
Brenda,
Brenda
what's
has
up?
some
Yeah,
things
yeah.
on here.
Yo, she's.
Okay. So she says, last night I saw three words in my dream. The
Oh,
words
yeah.
were calm, crown, and purpose. Whew. I interpreted this as a keep calm and carry on, for God has given you the victory to go ahead and fulfill your purpose. Calm, crown, and purpose. That's a dream. That's a dream, Miss Davis. See, I called her Miss Davis. Stand up, girl. Be calm. Put your crown on and walk into your purpose. Scratch into your purpose. Somebody show
Mm-hmm.
look at you, then you scratch into your purpose. It's gonna say walk, but scratch into it.
Scratching
Get
happens usually
those
when there's something that needs to be removed. Some old skin, some
shedding.
like shedding, right? You know, like if you get a cut, like when my leg was itching, I had a wound on my knee, and you know it had built up. What do you call it? A little, not a sore, but you know where it hardens up around it. And when it starts to come off and that new skin is under there, it itches. So again, that's growth. So scratch that old skin off. That 40 years at FedEx is you coming into a whole nother place in life. And so a whole nother growth. So yeah, you go ahead and fulfill that purpose. You know, Moses received prophethood at age 40. You know, same thing with the Prophet Muhammad of Islam at the age of 40. You remember the 40 days and nights. You know, that Jesus was out in the wilderness. 40 is a big number. So if you did something for 40 years, you know that's a sign of the end of a season and the beginning of another. So I
and,
think it's only
and
right that
have
you were on this
patience.
on. Mm-hmm.
Have patience with we all have to have patience with ourselves. Allow yourself
Yeah,
like this is a time where just take a minute and let it all simmer in. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
don't push yourself so it's okay to stand and scratch sometimes. Just stand if you need to. If you need to, then get back up. Get back up.
Some recovery time, right? I'm sure there's some reflection that comes after 40 years, but I don't know. You know, Miss Britt, how do you feel? Do you feel like this is this is the time to start something new, or is this the season? What season is this? What season is this for you? Because you know, right? You know best. Do you feel like it's that time where you summer girl fine about to go do your thing, go on vacation and hang out a little bit, and um, get that bathing suit weather and stuff like that, or is it the winter time where you kind of gotta huddle up and do some reflection? Um, is it fall where you're shedding some leaves, shedding some skin, and getting ready for next year? Is it springtime where you're about to spring onto something new, some new goal or some mission to accomplish? So, Miss Brenda, what do you now? And after we get that, we'll go ahead and close out. She says, "I'm going to for a minute. I usually have my grants for the summer." Oh, there you go. She said she got her grants for the summer. She usually has her grants for the summer. So hey, I don't know if that'll involve you being still with the grandbabies, but that
But
sounds
at
good, Miss
least she
Brennan.
can truly enjoy it. She can
Yes,
truly
yes,
enjoy
she
it
got to
without
worry
having
about going
to
to
work.
work.
Yeah. So be that's a that's
That is
that's
it.
a moment to be totally thankful for that I have them. Like I truly
Mm,
have the time to pour into them without being at work here, distracted,
right,
right?
right.
So enjoy that. Enjoy that. And I don't know
All
how
right.
old your grands are, but we'll have to talk because I'm so excited. I'm gonna have Wednesdays with Tupac. Every Wednesday, I'm gonna have a date with my with the little young grandson. So who walks so tall, I can imagine him.
Right.
just, yeah. So, all right.
He puts on my
7 and
shoes
9. They're 7 and 9.
like
Her
every day.
grandbabies are.
Okay.
Say that
Cool.
again, Brandon.
I said Tupac always like he puts on my shoes and he'll put on one of my hats and walk. I'm daddy now. Just be walking around.
You sit
I'm like, boy,
down.
if you don't
Yep.
put my shoes up. And one of the biggest compliments for him, if I say you look like daddy, he'll be like, oh, I look like daddy. Yay! So that just
Cute.
fills my heart with joy to hear him say that. Um, so, but yeah, y'all, think about what is your purpose? Are you scratching the surface, digging deep? Are you committed, or are you can't be serious? Can't be serious about it. So that's something to think about today on this 124 of the In This Season podcast. For rocking with us, the title today was "You Can't Be Serious," and the quote came from Dennis Green, the NFL head coach, who said, "The secret of success is to start from scratch and keep scratching." And the affirmation that we read 3 times for me, you, and the person that you're going to send this to. Today, I will step back and take a hard look at the things that I'm committed to. Today, I will take a step back and take a hard look at things I am committed to. Are those commitments, sir? Is there one that's elevated above the others? Are the others distractions from the one that you really want and desire? So let's read that one more time. I will step back. I will take a step and take a hard look at the things I am committed to. Go out there today. Let's see what this affirmation brings us. Let's see what this. I don't even know, but this question that we're gonna play in our heads today, over and over and over. We do something. I'm committed to this. I can't believe I'm committed to this. I put so much work behind this. I don't even know if this. I don't even think I like these people. I don't even think, So, I'm serious, right? You might have
Yeah.
a revelation today and a light bulb go
Yeah.
off.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Or
know,
they or
so
they don't like you. You know that they're not really that into
right.
you as it
Yeah.
as
Are
it
you
relate
going
to
where
the
you're being
relationship part.
tolerated or celebrated?
Right. And you know that this
Right.
job is not going to ever value you, you know? And
Right.
sometimes it is about being able to move on, to move forward, scratch and move. Or
Yeah.
scratch
Commit
and
to
stay.
yourself.
You got to know. You got to know is what's best for you. But you got to know you to know what's best for you and what you want, right? Okay. Are you cooking a cake or pie?
That's right.
Whatever.
Right.
Cakes
Right. Or just
require
cooking to be
eggs
cooking.
and so do some pies, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You can't be
Yeah.
cooking a cake half the time and then start cooking a pie the next time. You're going to have
A
something.
mess.
It ain't gonna be a cake or a pie. Yeah, a mess. Well, all right, y'all. We're gonna see y'all tomorrow, same time, same place, 7 a.m. for the 125th show of the In This Season podcast. Please go to the YouTube channel on the letter N, This Season podcast on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you get a bell every time that we do something live. Let the algorithm know that this is the type of content that you want to see, and we'll see you tomorrow, 7 a.m. Take care, y'all. Peace.